Temi Siyanbade, Houston-based attorney and host of Ask Temi Live, where we discuss the best ways to establish your business, protect your name, and keep your profits. Today's question of the day is, what is a registered agent and do I need one? Let's get into it. All right, this is actually pretty foundational, fundamental information that you should know if you are starting a business, because it's one of the first questions that you are going to come up against when you are registering or forming your business. Now, a registered agent is a person or a company that you give permission to serve as someone who receives official documentation, and that's like legal documentation, but official notices on your business's behalf. Before you can create an LLC or a corporation or limited partnership or any of those types of business organization entities, you are required to provide a registered agent. This is super important. And the reason why it's required from a legal perspective is because when you start a business, you have important documentation that comes your way. If there is somebody who's suing you or some type of due date or some type of tax information, the government wants to know how they can make sure that you receive everything on time, right? One of the things that you'll find with running your business is you're going to have lots of deadlines that you're going to have to keep up with. And your registered agent makes sure that you receive the information in a timely manner. When you don't keep up with your registered agent, there are some things that can happen to you. First thing is you can lose your protected legal status. So sometimes I unpack, what it means to be a limited liability company or what it means to have limited liability. And that's the level of legal protection that you have. But if you don't keep up with your registered agent and you lose that, then you don't have the limited liability anymore. The other thing is that let's say there is some important documentation that needs to get to your way. You need to know that, hey, this thing came up. Without a registered agent that's up to date, you don't find out that information and you end up in a really hairy and difficult place. The other thing is that let's say somebody does something to you and you want to sue them. Well, without your registered agent, you're out of compliance. You might not be able to raise a suit wherever you are in the state that you're in. It's a compliance matter. So you definitely need a registered agent. Now, the question is, can I be my own registered agent, right? That's one of the questions people ask. You can be. For sure. But here's the thing. The registered agent information is usually public information. So what does that mean? That means if you are trying to be your own registered agent and you only have your home address, that home address becomes public information for the world to know. Additionally, that means that, again, you have to stay on top of all of the different mail that might come your way. And in addition to legal information, because it's a public address, you end up finding that your registered agent also has to deal with junk mail, a ton of junk mail. I mean, offers for this and offers for that and offers for this. And you don't want to get all of that information all mixed in. So again, can you serve as a registered agent? Oh, and I said you can, but let me actually take a step back. You can if you meet certain criteria. Number one, you have to be either a legal entity or at least 18 years of age in most states. There might be some states that have 21. I'm not really sure, but you have to be the legal age of majority in that state in order to serve as the registered agent. Additionally, there has to be a physical address where this notice can be given. What do I mean? I mean that if you have a USPS box, so you are in the United States Post Office mailbox where you got to go to the post office and open it up, that's not going to be an address that is allowable for the registered agent. There has to be a physical space. So that's why it might be your home address if you decide to do it yourself. It's usually an office building that's usually better. So you want to make sure there's a physical space with normal business hours or normal hours where people can basically come and go and serve papers if that ever becomes necessary. What are your additional options, though, if you don't want to do this? Well, there are third-party services. There are other options with regards to finding a company or finding a law firm that has relationships with these companies that can help you get a registered agent so that you remain in compliance. And it's really convenient. A lot of my clients who we do that, we're able to get notice immediately with regards to what the notice is that's coming in from the government. We're able to keep all of that information neat and private and organized, know what to address, know what to get rid of. And so it can be really an awesome experience to outsource it and not have to worry about it for yourself. So that's something that you can think of. A lot of your other options will also help you with compliance in terms of making sure that the things that you do to keep your business active, like they're reminding you, oh, because you have an LLC, you have to file this report. Oh, because you have a corporation, you have to do this. A lot of times your registered agents or your services that are related to that may also help with compliance. So those are some of the things that you want to keep in mind when we're talking about your registered agent. You want to think about the fact that it will help you with compliance and will help you with document management. Keep all of this in mind. Make sure you do it, especially if you're starting a business, because you have to. You won't be able to go to the next step without an actual registered agent. Final thing I'll say is that if you decide to employ somebody that, or have someone who you know serve as that, there must be consent from that entity. So you can't just be like, you know what, I think that my accountant should be my registered agent. Let me put that information in as I'm creating this business. No, that is not allowable. There needs to be consent. There needs to be some type of agreement. Okay? All right, I know I said that super fast. I hope this was helpful. If this page is helpful, if this video has been helpful, let me know in the chat box or in the box below. Go ahead and write in any questions, comments, things like that you have. If you want to follow us and keep up to date with what we're doing, TOS Legal is the handle. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those different platforms. The final thing that I'm going to say is if you're starting out your business and you're trying to figure out what to do and what you need to do in terms of starting it the right way, we've created this resource called the Start Right Action Checklist. It's a free resource. I'm going to put a link for this in the description below. Make sure you check this out and download it. Again, it's free. We want you to be able to understand the basic foundations for starting your business. Okay. All right. That's all I have for you. I hope you have an amazing day. I will talk to you soon. Bye.